start it off, Avery.
Yeah, Abigale, I want to start off with you. We've seen you in various spots in the lineup, 1, 9, I think 6. What's that been like for you? Is it something that you've experienced before, and what's that like, bouncing around?
It's fine for me. I mean, I love it. No matter where I am in the lineup, there's good hitters around me. So just being able to understand my role, like leading off, just making sure I get on base because I have Ella and Cass behind me. In the middle lineup, it might be people on base to hit them in, and then the bottom of the lineup, just turn it over. But if I'm in that lineup, I'm going to compete, so it doesn't really matter where I am. But, yeah.
And then, Kasidi, for you, I want to ask you, here entering SEC play, we've seen the way that this team has performed so far. What are you most looking forward to learning about you all and this team, entering this conference play?
I'm ready to see our team punch back. Like, we played Baylor and Kansas, 2 really good teams. Like, we started off strong and continued to do good. And, like, just kind of knowing that, like, people may say, like, our preseason wasn't the highest ranked schedule, but, like, we were still ready for the SEC.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Cassie, from game 1 to 19, where have you seen kind of the biggest growth just for you at the plate? Because I know we talked about with, like, a bunch of you guys, the growth over the off season, but just as you kind of continue to roll through non-conference here.
For me, was trying to, like, pick up where I left off at the World Series, but, like, knowing that I'm not the same person or the same body that I was back then. Just knowing that, like, find things that worked, find things that are new that I have to change to make work, like, figure out how to make it work, and then just pick and choose what I want to, like, do, not try to be the same player.
How's it working with JT? Breaking down your swing again over the summer and things like that through the fall, but how does that process go, and the constant improvement of trying to pick what do you want to improve and then kind of dial in on that?
He's really good just to bounce off of. Like, he knows I'm not the same player, and, like, I don't want to push for the same results that I had at that point of the year, so just knowing that, like, we can have the conversations to go back and forth.
James.
I mean, what goes into the preparation, for a team like South Carolina, the only undefeated team in softball? What are you all kind of doing to kind of prepare for them and what they do?
Yeah, I feel like we kind of just go over, like, what we can do, and it's more of, like, what kind of players we are. Not so much of what the other team's doing, but what we can do to succeed. I feel like a big game plan for us is just being able to understand that we are big hitters and we know how to hit the ball. Obviously, it comes with different teams, and that's how it's going to be, and you just have to kind of adapt. But just knowing our strengths and being able to show those against other teams has really helped.
What does it mean to you for you all to be a big hitting team like that? Because kind of coming into the season, it was like more small ball maybe happening. What do you think about that and the way you all can maybe connect and hit the ball?
Yeah, I think that's funny. In preseason, we were definitely saying, like, oh, yeah, we're more small balls, things like that. But I feel like our swings have just progressed, obviously, from game 1 to 19. I feel like it's shown the work we've put in the cages. And just being able to learn from older players. I mean, she's not old, but been here, and they've definitely helped us with our swings. And so being able to see that, and especially Gabby, that girl has been popping off. So being able to see all these young players being able to swing the bat has really helped us.
James up here.
Cassie, are you surprised this team has this much power?
No, not at all. Like, I see the work we put in the weight room and, like, how much we've grown from the off season of, like, fall to here now. And, like, credit to JT, like, he knows what he's talking about. Like, it doesn't matter who's hitting, like, they can hit a home run at any given point.
I want to ask you a question, too. I think you're a professional hitter in that when people get on base, even when you weren't going that well at the beginning of the year, like you thought you drove in runs. Talk about what happens to you when you go to the plate with people on base.
I was joking to Abby. I was like, every time I go up, there's someone on. Like, I was like, I feel like I leave a lot of runners on. But our hitters are always on base. We take a lot of walks. Like, the top of the lineup does a very good job. And it's just, like, knowing you don't always have to hit a home run to score a run. Yeah. Like, a bunt, a sacrifice pop fly does the job. So it's just knowing that, like, people are on. Your job is to get them in no matter what.
Back to Ryan.
Yeah, Kelsey, I want to go back to something you said. You said you were a different player, a different person than you were at the end of the World Series. I'm curious, how different you are and in what areas, especially the person side of that, but both.
I felt my freshman year I had to be more of like a sponge. Like, the people who played above me were gifted. Like, all those seniors, you're not going to have a class like that again. So, like, last year I took a lot of listening and, like, asking questions and doing that, and now it's this year I'm more of like, what questions do y'all have? Like, can I be the one to answer those questions? So it's just giving the information now as to last year I was receiving it.
Is that a role that you're completely comfortable in, or did you have to get yourself there? Or?
No, for me, it was learning how to tell the younger kids in what response and how they want to learn it. So it was more of just being a better teacher.
I think she's Chapman. She's
I mean, just coming off of the first couple of weekends at Love's Field, how have you and some of the new faces kind of adjusted, gotten used to? Everyone talks about the noise, and you have World Series experience to kind of calibrate. But how's that come as far as just being comfortable settling in? Because it'll be loud again this weekend, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like a big thing for us was kind of understanding that the fans are there for us. So it's not that they're rooting against us or anything. So being able to use the fans as kind of like a tipping point for the other team, being able to use them for us instead of against us. Love having it being a crazy fan base. Like, we are so loud, and that's something that we can use for us. And I'm really excited. I mean, this last weekend, we were able to hear just how loud the stadium can get. And so being able to experience it before SEC play was something that I was really excited to see. But, yeah, I mean, it's loud, and it's fun. And I'm ready for other teams to have to experience that.
Did you do anything different, like communicating in the outfield than?
Yeah. You definitely have to do a lot more hand gestures. Like, you can't hear anyone in the outfield. Our outfield stands are actually really loud, like really loud. And so it's more of just like hand gestures and kind of understanding each other before the play. But.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah. Sorry. Abigale, I want to ask you something, looking forward here to next week, just in case we don't get a chance to talk to you. What did, and I know you talked about this, but what did DJ mean to you in your development?
I mean, everything. I didn't know how to hit the ball before. So going in my freshman year, I mean, like I said before, he kind of learned everything he knows from JT. Don't tell him that. I mean, he's going to hear it, but it's fine. But it definitely helped me coming into the process here just because I kind of knew a lot of the same language that JT was talking about. But, yeah, I'm excited to play them as well. But South Carolina's first, so, yeah.
Thank you, guys.